Wonderful.
And then everyone stops talking.
Well, now people will know what we said.
That's right.
Up until now, we could deny everything.
Isn't that the truth?
That's a great backdrop, Anne.
Thanks. I stole that from an organization. But when I sit just right, I look like I have a crown, a Rotary crown. There we go. Often
Wonderful.
I'm like today, I'm at home and my studio's behind me. I'm not cleaning that for you people.
Welcome, Dawn. Do you have rain in the shoe swap? You're muted. I hate saying that.
You always want me to mute. We have a little bit of cloud now. We had some sun earlier today. We had enough rain, big thunder shower yesterday, had enough rain to clear everything out from the smoke. It's been, you weren't able to see across the lake yesterday, and today you can.
Wow.
But we'll see how long it lasts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Barbie said that Copper Island was on fire today.
Ooh.
I didn't know that. Of course, I've been doing Rotary work since like before noon there. Now I'm less formal.
What a guy.
I've got some cheese to go with that.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. And with that wine, well, that's all the treasurer stuff, Mr. Doherty.
Yeah.
A job I treasure.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be a few more because there were a couple that had special concerns, and so they were looking forward to tuning in. So,
Okay.
yeah, a few more minutes.
I can hang tight.
Great.
Perfect. Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
It's beginning to feel like the end of summer, isn't it?
Oh, we've got two daughters that are teaching, and yeah, the days are becoming very precious.
Right.
Yeah. And still lots of uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Not knowing cramps your style.
You had any long rides, Vic? Have you been out lately?
Well, some, but not. I've been out every day, and that's the beauty. I was just going to say, I just ignore all this uncertainty, because if I'm outside, I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Good plan.
Just enjoy the ride. We and for me, 50 kilometers is a lot. So
Good for you. Do you have a lot of tourists, or is it reasonable?
Sylvan Lake on Saturday, every square foot of the beach area and the park area was covered with people. So it was absolutely amazing. There was no parking to be had anywhere in town, and it didn't matter, whereabouts in the lake. It was just very busy on Saturday.
Wow.
Hey, Vic, if you come down to Cochrane, I've got a nice 45K loop for you that you and I could do.
Oh, right. Would like
Does that include a certain hill?
Well, no. Well, yes, it does. Not the hill you're thinking of, Don.
Okay,
I head down the 1A, and then I head up Grand Valley, and then there's a bit of a climb, and then across the 280 and then down Horse Creek. It's a great loop though. Yeah.
I was on 1A first time in years on Friday. 3.5 hour trip from Banff to Calgary on Friday.
Oh, Dan,
Yeah.
what happened?
Got caught in the Dead Man's Flats.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fire. And everybody got diverted over to there. So, yeah.
I just sent Vince the link. He'll be joining us.
That's been a tough stretch the last week or so. That's where the 2 fatality accident was,
Yeah, that was
right in there as well.
Yeah.
Boy, that was tragic.
Yeah. Don't go through Cochrane on the 1A, folks. Stay right away. It's the 1A 22, the construction, it's horrendous.
Is it?
Oh,
I got caught on that last Friday.
Were you in the same fire? Yeah.
No, oh, I was out on 1A, just going from one location to another. And I thought, oh, I'll just take a shortcut through Cochrane. That did not work. That
the
did not
longest shortcut you're ever going to do, I tell you.
Yeah, well, I actually turned around and went back out onto Highway 1 because I knew I'd be 30 minutes just getting from 1A to the hill. And then I didn't know how long I'd be on 1A into town. I just didn't know. So I went back. I doubled back through the town and went out on Highway 1 again.
Yeah, good move.
And there's no warning. There's no warning. That's the thing that annoyed me. There was no warning. You know, they put up the construction signs, but that doesn't really tell you anything.
Doesn't tell you the full story, I tell you.
No, it sure doesn't. Sure doesn't.
Welcome, Vince. Glad you made it. All righty.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll get started because we are recorded, so we can always share. Just a few quick introductions. We have Cynthia with us and Robert from Event Groove. And we have from our Move for Polio team, steering committee, we have Vic and of course DG Martin and Dan and myself. So thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Maybe just quickly, since we have a reasonable number, could you just pop in and say what club you're from? So,
Go around the screen.
Anne, club champion from,
Unmute and Calgary Chinook.
excellent. And Terry,
Medicine Hat Rotary.
Rhea,
Calgary Chinook.
Kevin,
Statler.
Don,
Calgary West.
the best club in the West. Oh, Dan, we already know. Vince,
Calgary Heritage Park.
and welcome. Vince and Tracy have moved down from District 5370, so welcome.
Woo,
Thank you.
welcome.
And Keith,
Medicine Hat Sunrise.
great. And Peter,
Calgary Downtown.
excellent.
Hey, Kevin, your prizes for your golf tournament are going to be delivered to the Sobeys store. You'll have to pick them up from that guy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great. Okay, so just a brief agenda. We really want this to be a casual meeting. There's lots of expertise on the screen, so I will defer to them. So we've gone through the welcome introductions. We're going to check in with the specific concerns that people responded to me, and then we'll open up the floor. So any other frustrations, questions, concerns, we really, we are piloting this, and we realize there's some speed bumps, and we just want to reach out and help each other as much as possible. And then a little bit of participation, promotion, talk, and then some save the dates moving forward. So respond to concerns from club champions. One that was repeated quite frequently was, how do I record my kilometers? So Cynthia and I have talked about it, and I know that there are some steps on frequently asked questions, but I stumbled through them and found it a little clumsy. So I'm going to turn the screen over to Cynthia, and she's going to walk us through that. If
Perfect.
at any time you have any questions, just Raise your hand. Go for it.
Awesome. Thank you, Marlene. So I'm just going to the district site here for the campaign. Is that showing for you all okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect. So there's a couple of ways that you can get to the area to enter your kilometers or minutes, whichever you're measuring for your activity. The quickest and easiest that I would recommend probably would be to go through my account, which would be accessed through the upper right-hand icon, the profile icon, and you would just click your sign in. I'm just going to sign in to an account that I use for demonstrating as a participant how that looks. So once I log in, it will show the profile with, instead of the silhouette, it shows you initials there. You can go to my account. And from here, by default, we land on my donations, which just shows the registration, the free entry for registering. What I want to do is go to my members, which is where my activity can be entered. And to the right of my registration, to my team here, there's, if I hover over the dollar value, I can also get those three little dots here at the right. If I click that, I have the ability to enter activity results here. If I go into enter activity results, it will pop up a little area where I can then enter my units. So you'll notice that I had entered an activity on August 3rd, just for testing purposes. I can go back, click the pencil and edit that or modify that amount if I wanted to. Say I wanted to change it to 7 and then click the checkbox to save that change. I can do that, or I can also click on the 3 dots and delete that record if I needed to remove it entirely and just add something different. Or I can use the button to then add multiple records or a lump sum all at once of the activity I've done. So that's what will be used at the end to process the pledges that are per unit pledges. The other option, let me just go back to my account and I will just navigate over to the Move for Polio campaign again. And if I go to the sign up page, which is our fundraising, team fundraising participant center, I can go to participants and then I can get to this tile here where we have 3 dots. If I click that, I can access the ability to enter units from here. And it will show up as long as you are signed in that upper right hand icon showing the profile. If that does show the little silhouette, you will want to sign in to be able to access the enter function, but it works the same way. It just pops up that entry form where you can add a single record or multiple entries of your units. Okay. Does anybody have questions specific about how to enter those or issues where you might have gotten hung up?
So I want to watch that old guy Vic, and I want to see how many kilometers he's getting. I see he's getting lots of pledges. We're up to $19,000, by the way, everybody. But I see Vic's got a lot of pledges, but I don't see these 50 kilometers at a time that he's going. How do I see? I know he wants to see if I am actually doing anything as well. So how do we do that?
And then Rhea will get you.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull up Peter because I know Peter has been adding some
Trying.
updates to his page.
Peter, we're
And-
impressed.
Thanks.
we really are. So if I go to Peter's page and scroll down, he has gone in and entered what activities he's going to be doing in a chart here and how he's logging those. In addition, he has gone in, if I click on updates, he's been listing what activities
to
he's
update that a
actually
bit.
been doing. That's okay. That's okay. I mean,
Wow.
it's a great way to show what you've been doing and how. And every time an update is posted on Peter's page, it triggers an email to his supporters that have been giving pledges that there's a new update. So then it kind of triggers that return to go see what he's up to and just keep them engaged and supporting and encouraging Peter along the way. This does take some additional effort as the participant because adding your activity on the back end is just for the records of the entire fundraiser, which the district could make those fully available to everyone at the end of the campaign. But if you really want to give the transparency for your supporters in the moment, this would be the best way to go about that. And if you are logged in, you can add your updates from your personal fundraising page or make those edits just clicking into areas. It's not going to let me see those areas because I'm not logged in with my admin profile. I'm just another participant, so I can't change Peter's page. So it's kind of limiting on what I can show you right now. But you'll notice if you are logged in.
I could
You
show that
wanna-
if you want.
That would be great if you wouldn't mind demonstrating, Peter.
Sure. Share screen. I think it's this one. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think you were touching on two things is if you're logged in as the user, so I'm logged in as me, this is my page. And I click here, now I can actually edit this, and this is where I put this whole table. And then just click away from it to save it. And then for doing updates, so I just made an update just now, but you just click this create update button. It drops down this to let you type, give a headline and type in whatever you'd like to type. And you can add pictures and stuff. If I was if I took more pictures, I'd probably be adding those in here, but I don't do a lot of photographing, so.
Hey, Peter, do you have a GoPro?
I don't, but we are doing a canoe trip starting on Thursday, and I've got a friend coming with me that does, and we're going to be putting that on the front of the canoe. It's going to be great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Stuff like that. The video is a great tool here as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great, thanks, Peter.
Peter?
Rhea, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, my question is, there will be people that just want to give me a donation. And so how then do I record that? Because I do have several activities I'll be recording. I'll be recording my e-bike. I work out in a gym. I do my walking and probably some other things. So do I attach that to an activity or do I how can I just put it in as cash?
That's the second next question, but go ahead, Cynthia.
That's a great question. So you definitely will want to do that as, even though it's cash, you can record it as a check transaction, which bypasses fees on the platform. So you don't have to worry about fees coming out of those funds, but it does record the total in your funds raised. It would take a little bit of coordination with Charlene at the district office, just because she'll mark that as received on the back end, and that's what will update the total on the fundraising page. But how you would do that is you can go to your fundraising page and then hit contribute, enter it as a flat amount.
Okay.
Let's just say I'm gonna just put $100 here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to the checkout like I am actually
Record.
processing this. And I'm
Thank you,
going,
Cynthia. That's really nice of you.
right? Yes.
You're good, yes.
Robert, you're gonna approve that expense account?
So that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna, instead of leaving it at credit card or debit card, I'm just gonna list check and then continue my checkout. In the checkout, it will, I'm just going to acknowledge here. I'll show you what it will do. It'll give me kind of the area. I can hit pay and it will tell me where I need to send my check to. And it gives Charlene's address at the district office is what it does. So it's actually, it relies on the end user to submit that payment. But you, club champions, will be able to coordinate with Charlene when you have received those funds so that she can update the system properly.
Okay.
But
All right.
Cynthia, a question from Terry Medicine Hat. This is where a number of my members who have made contributions are not making their name on there. So it's going into the general funds rather than credit to my
Club. Yeah.
Right. So right here, this is telling me that this is crediting Peter. So this one has been done from Peter's page. If by chance somebody gets to the main campaign and they accidentally, for whatever reason, don't get your name associated with their contribution, I have access, Charlene has access, and Bronson also has access to be able to assign those properly. So as long as we know that dollar amount and who was supposed to be credited, we can manage that on the back end and make sure that it reflects properly on your fundraising page.
and not intended as criticism of your support center, but Tammy at the support center is telling me that I have the power to do that myself. And she tells me I need to be an organizer or needs, yeah. And so I can't go in and be an administrator unless it's appointed.
So it sounds like Tammy's giving you feedback, expecting that you're a club organization on the platform. So that would be something that I will handle on my end and make sure that she's aware that you are a participant on the platform right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So that's a misconception on our end, and I will definitely deal with that.
Can I just to that previous to Terry's question, because I noticed this as well. I had one person who contributed that it didn't go to me, it just went to the general group. And I think I figured out why just now. So if you go to my page, for example, and I'm assuming this would be everyone's page, or any user's page for that matter, doesn't
Okay.
need to be me.
So let's just go to Elaine.
Sure. So wait for it to load. So that if you scroll down a bit, that orange contribute button, that works as
Right
expected as you just demoed. But if you scroll down further to the bottom of the page, that red contribute button, that does general to the general pool instead of to this user. I just went through. I think that sounds like it may be unintentional.
Actually, I'm going to make a comment here. I think you should change the verbiage of what that says, because it's contrary as what you just said. It's misleading, and I think it would be great to say, if you want to give to the general campaign, click here. I'm not sure, Cynthia, whether this is even something we want to keep. You may want to remove it.
This button entirely.
Yeah, I think we can do that in the campaign. What do you all think?
I'd agree with that.
I think you've got
I
to
agree.
take it out.
Yeah, we don't,
Yeah, because it's
just
we
causing
wanna-
confusion, Robert.
Exactly. I think what it's meant to be for campaigns where there's a lot going on and where it usually says, don't want any of the items or don't want to do anything here, but want to contribute anyway. That's really what it's really meant to be. But since everyone's going here to do something for an individual or for whatever they're on there for, I don't think this is necessary. So let's, yeah.
Could we
Perfect.
possibly make that to support, say, the Statler Club instead of an individual in the Statler Club? So if you have several people in your club,
Yeah.
working towards this, that if they just want to, well, I just want to throw something at from the club.
It's actually, it goes to the generic. It doesn't, it bypasses clubs and participants. It goes right to the whole aggregate campaign.
Well, could we assign it to a club?
No,
Okay.
it's meant to be in that frame. That's why I think removing it is best. If I want to
Yeah.
give to multiple people, I don't know whether you all know you can do this. You
I've already done it.
You've done that?
Yeah.
Was that Peter?
Where you can just pick multiple people, put them all on your card, and then pay all at once.
Right, and you can also distribute the percentage. Like
I
if I
didn't
give
know
a-
that.
if
That's
I
neat.
get, yeah, this is something you might want to show, Cynthia. If I want to give to multiple people in a club, I could do that, and I could, let's say I give $500, and I have 5 people, I could do 20% to each person, and they each get $100.
Certainly. Okay, I'm just going to refresh this here.
And these are little nuances that it's good for you to see this.
I'm just gonna, that's still working. So I'll leave Peter's contribution in there. I'm gonna go back to the Move for Polio page.
Yeah, give from there, and then show the other way of giving to people, which is straight through.
Certainly. So I actually want to go here, right, Robert? I want to go to the participant center to be able to.
Actually, I would just
bump.
I would just hit pledge. Just hit the pledge button.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. I think that's like if I bypass it and I just hit the pledge button, because many people might do that. And then they're going to go to here, and then
So I can continue browsing and then
this would,
go find
exactly
some additional folks that I want to give to.
You can continue shopping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, continue browsing, and I can drill down and say I want to go
Give to another
Calgary
team.
downtown or north. Let's see, I'm going to go to north. I'm just going to do it to the whole club here. I can continue adding so that when I check out a single time, it will include all of those in a single checkout.
Right.
And I can do that by check if I want to apply it directly. And that's another thing. So if this is not a donor trying to process a transaction directly with a credit card online, you always want to go with the check option, whether it's a cash payment, an actual check being mailed into the district office, or the other option is, Robert, can you remind me of the terminology? Is it TRS?
Oh, the Rotary TRF, the Rotary Foundation?
Yeah, the Rotary Foundation. So if you have monies that are being credited directly, you can apply them this way also.
Well, once you get the money in, I think that's something we've decided is going to happen on the back end, right, Dan and Martin? And
It's
Martin?
not a process that we're gonna share with everybody in a second.
Hold that
Yeah.
up.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask that too.
Well, we can't share.
Oh,
I'll stop sharing there.
great. So we talked with Cynthia and with Charlene, and this is something that Vic's been had lots of questions about. So our 3 goals are obviously to move, to raise funds, and have fun. So these seem to be the easiest options. So donate directly online at myrotary.org Polio Plus, or donate directly online at go.rotary5360gives.org. If cash or check is received, record who the donation supports and their club name, and send the check directly to TRF, the Rotary Foundation Canada. Tax receipts are issued by RI, and then Charlene needs to be notified. The details of the check, preferably a photo, and then who the person is, the club to credit it to, especially if it's different than the donor. So, and then there's the address and there's the link to the forms. And Vic did that. And what he did was he sent to, he sent to Charlene a photo of the check, and it was a check for $400 or $600. And then he listed the 6 Rotary members that would receive that $100 each.
Marlene, would you mind sharing that with all of us by email?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yep. And
I have a question, Marlene. So this is obviously this is a process, right? And it's and my concern, I'm sure your concern is that will you have any checks fall through the crack, right? In the midst of this process.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you may, but then I can get a report.
Got it.
What the giving to Polio Plus was during that.
From the district. Yep, that's the way to do it.
So
Okay, good.
I can get that.
that's what we did last year. We just requested all the donations from July to the end of October.
You could also do a hyperlink from the campaign to that form, could you not, Cynthia?
Certainly. Yeah, we could.
So that document, different ways to give or whatever you want to call it, and maybe that's something Bronson can put somewhere in that header column in the text area that he's creating, so that people, how to give. You can give this way, click here to get more details. Just a thought.
This kind of shows you the process that happened. Vic sent the information, right, as an external donation. Here's who it was credited to on the account. And so Larry gets a $600 donation credit, right? So, and here it is here. And if you look online, I think, Vic, if you looked at your account, you'll see all those have been credited properly. So the process works.
And then if I may add, what happens, like, for example, those 2 checks, there was a check for 400 and 600 that I received from 2 of our Rotarians. And I sent Charlene those checks, and that all worked perfectly. Well, it didn't initially, but Charlene got it all sorted out. Then, so now I have, because I'm the foundation chair, I fill out the forms here and have now am mailing those checks into the Rotary Foundation. So there is that part of it that as a club champion, you may never have done that before. Whereas I, as a foundation chair, am doing this every year, filling out these donor forms and sending it into TRF. So.
Does that need to be added to that process sheet, Rick?
Well, it is interesting in the sense that, most of our club champions, maybe haven't been, familiar with filling those forms out. And now, thank goodness, like Charlene caught on to that. And so she's sent out the form, I believe, for multiple donors as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, on that same topic, I had a member of our club reach out to me today and say that he'd made a donation through the Rotary International website. Is that the same thing that we just looked at a second ago as far as, so if I ask Charlene, she'll be able to see that donation come in, or how does that work?
No, you have to just inform her of the person and the amount, and then that gets added.
Okay, sounds good.
Anything that goes there that needs to be.
Does she have a way to reconcile? Like, do we have a way to reconcile that? Like, if this, not saying that if a failure communication occurred and I gave Charlene the wrong number, how does that get reconciled at the end of everything?
Well, basically what happens is I can pull a report, or Mark can pull a report now on all the donations that have been made from July 1st to October 24th in the Polio Plus program. And so all we'll do is we'll see, and it shows us the donations by club. Doesn't show by individual, but it'll show by club. If we want to dig in deeper. So, you know, what we can do is
You'll catch it.
Yeah, got it.
If I make a mistake, you'll catch it.
Well,
And then you'll come back to me.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
But you'll be in such good shape, we might not be able to catch you.
That's right.
Good. So kilometers and pledges was a big issue. There was one issue with postal codes, but I think that individual's been dealt with. So other questions, concerns, things, hurdles that are in the way. Terry and then Martin.
Marlene, the pledge per unit. I've had a couple where I can see a pledge per unit on a club member's personal pledge page, but there's been one to me that I haven't been able to see, and it was made over a week ago. Is there a place that we see where the pledges per unit? I read something about the pledges we track like a dashboard.
You can access the team dashboard if you are a club champion. Peter, would you mind bringing up Calgary downtown? Would you?
Yeah, sure. Hold on.
I can tell you where to look if you're not familiar. So we want to go.
Oh, hold on. I've got a screen. I've got a
Okay.
bookmark for it. Here?
Perfect.
Or do you mean in the
So-
my? Okay, all right.
Well, you can go actually into my account because it's your profile that's linked to Calgary downtown, right? So if you click my account, and then we're going to click on my teams. And if you click Calgary downtown here, it should open up the dashboard, what we call the dashboard.
Yep.
So from here, let's see, are you able to click on participants next to contributions?
Mhm.
And then it shows you, so it's kind of a roundabout way to go look at them, but if you know the participant that you're trying to look at, yeah, go ahead and pick a random one. It takes you to Dave's page.
Yeah.
And then on the rankings, that shows you how many units have been logged. So that one doesn't necessarily have any logged. So trying to think of another way to.
Does the data export get this information? Like this export button at all?
The export usually does have more detail than what you see displayed on screen, but it does generate an email export. It doesn't download immediately, so it'll email you.
So then, Cynthia, I was following you on that, and so I've gone onto the participants page, and I can see the donations down the side, and it shows me because I got this guy started 1 month ago, and I said I'm pledging $1 per unit to a maximum, of course, but I can't see that on anyone else's personal page.
As far as the.
So one of my club members have made a pledge per kilometer for my personal page, but I can't see anywhere on my pages that's tracking. I'm tracking my kilometer.
So it only will display the total if they put a maximum amount up until the point that the results are finalized on the campaign. So if they left it open-ended, the total, yeah, is that the only supporter on this one?
Yeah, this is,
Okay.
I just thought this was a good example because it's just one. So there's
Sure,
only one
so-
supporter with a max of 20.
Exactly. And so if that supporter didn't put a maximum amount on their pledge, it would still show 0 with the asterisk up at the top until the end of the campaign when everything's finalized, and then it would reflect properly that total. So that sometimes if it's a per unit pledge without a max, it does not show up until the very end.
He did indicate that he put a max of $200 on it because he didn't want me going 2,000 kilometers.
Right, right.
But anyway, I'll take that as I'll do that on a one-off with you, Cynthia, and maybe we can try and find it.
Certainly, yeah. So that
Did I just
takeaway
lose
is really
connection?
I
Possibly.
don't see your screen anymore, Peter, but I hear you. But Terry, I'll definitely
Sure.
find the steps for you to be able to see all the activities of your team, your club participants, right?
And the pledges for, yes. Thank you.
Certainly.
Martin, you had a comment?
Yeah, I want to get back to tracking. So seeing Peter's page, I saw he had 25 units, kilometers or minutes, correct?
Yes. So
yes. So what I'm asking is, I'm assuming that's kilometers.
It's just units.
So Peter, what I'm wondering is, just from us looking in, as Dan mentioned, I'd like to kind of look in to see what Vic's doing or what you're doing, what I'm doing. So if I look at your page and I see that 25 units, what units are they?
Yeah, I think this was something that we did differently this year, right? Is that units are more ethereal. They're a little less concrete as far as what a unit is. And that's kind of why I put this little table here, because people kept asking me that.
Okay, right on. Yeah. Okay. So
whereas for someone else, it might be I'm, trying to do 500 minutes of meditation or something, and maybe they would put that in here.
Okay. Okay. So you need a little bit of an explanation, right, to explain what they are, I guess.
Yep. I got to stop sharing because my bandwidth keeps on dropping here.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
It's a great example though, Peter. Thank you.
Yep. No problem.
Any other questions, concerns, hiccups, hurdles?
I need a Peter in our club.
So this is, we were talking today with Robert and Cynthia about some PR and some marketing and things. And this is Kurt Kowalczyk, our district governor-elect, and he's with Peter's Downtown Club. And he put this together in July and sent it to us. And it's actually a ton of fun. So we're thinking of putting it up. So enjoy. Here we go.
Can you mute yourself and turn your sound off?
How can you move for polio? You can pedal for polio. You can hike for polio. You can golf for polio. You can run for polio. You can walk for polio. You can paddle for polio. You can yoga for polio. You can ski for polio if you live in Australia.
Love it.
So that's pretty cool. So we're wondering if we all have those techie people in our club. So if we could maybe start getting people to put some videos up, I think that would be amazing.
Turn your speaker up again.
Sorry.
Sorry, there's double dipping with the computers in the room was cause backgrounds. So this will be posted on, this will be posted on the site probably tonight. It'll be on the landing page. And we're working with Bronson to try to get a program. He's committed, but he can't do it by himself. So Martin, that's what the meeting on Friday is with your team. He needs support to get weekly kind of programs going. And one of the things that he wants to do is to tell you how you could do this and have some fun with posting things.
And Robert said that he's been doing some with a different campaign, and they're just like a 30-minute. And he said every time he puts it out, it creates excitement and donors. So he was really jazzed up about that today and is encouraging us to try it.
Yeah, for me, the emails we send out are great, but we all know Rotarians don't read. So, for me, video and photos are very powerful, and videos in fact are, to me, the most powerful medium because they can tell a story in many, many different ways. And you can do a lot in a 15-second. I mean, I thought that video was great. And I'm thinking, as if everyone started, taking pictures of themselves with their phones as they do their thing, and even if they do 10 seconds and send it in to someone who's going to aggregate this, you could put them all together and create a really fun, 30-second montage of a lot of people doing something, or clubs could come together and do a club video that has all their club members doing something or doing things together. Everyone's going to run at 7 o'clock in the morning, and that's running for polio on a Saturday morning or whatever, and we're doing it together as a club. Those kinds of videos, and then cheering and making it fun and creating that fun aspect to it. And then when you put a nice music bed behind it, I did one this weekend for my club in Connecticut, and we're doing a raffle, and it's the Madison raffle, the Mad raffle, and we have the past president and the current president doing some fun things at the 4th of July parade, and it came together great. And we used this really cool funky tune, and in one email it generated $2,500. So it's just a matter of planning that process and getting those digital assets together. So I certainly love what we just saw, and a GoPro is great because that can go right on your forehead as you do what you do, or even a phone as you're running, face forward facing, and then just turning around, and making fun faces, just having fun with it. But the key is using it and getting everyone to begin using it, and it's so simple. I mean, the phone you can forward that off very easily. A 5 to 10 second video can easily go through email to wherever you feel is the destination point, and then someone's going to compile it all. The tough part is every club having somebody that can do the compilation. There's lots of different compilation tools. We can't depend upon Bronson and Grant and others to do that because there might be a lot going on. So clubs becoming self-sufficient in that area is really powerful. There's iMovie, there's Final Cut. I use Adobe Premiere. They're not too difficult. iMovie's real simple for those of you who have it on your Mac if you have a Mac. And there's other programs that are PC based, but they're just really not difficult. And usually every club has somebody that's got a little tech aspect to them that can jump in here. Or you go to your Interact club that's in your community, or your children. I've got and say, hey, I want your help. Can you do this for me? And you'd be surprised at what you'll end up with. The only thing you have to be worried about is licensing of music. So if you're going to use a music bed, I always use a music bed. I use a very small snippet of a popular tune, and that's what I did on this last one. I'll actually, I think I have it here.
There's also lots of sources online for like open source
Yep.
music that you can download. That sounds great. as long as you're not trying to, I don't know, play Beyonce or something, you'll get the same desired effect.
Yeah, I'll show you the one video. I didn't show this today in the meeting we had, but if I can find, here it is, Mad Raffle. So this is a raffle. This is a restaurant raffle, but I'll bring it to the screen and I'll play it for you. It's actually on the campaign. So let me share my screen, and you just got to get a sense for it. It's very short. It's very simple. You all see that okay? So this is our past president, Scott, and this is the incoming president, Robin, and this is the video. Hopefully the internet will.
We have the Mad Raffle coming up. That's right, the Mad Raffle. Mad, mad, mad. Mad Raffle. Mad, mad, mad. The Mad Raffle. Coming up. It's mad, mad, mad. Mad, mad, mad. MadRaffle.org.
That's it.
I had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, we had a good time. I mean, I just did that. We were walking down the parade route, and I just kept going to him. And he kept doing mad, mad, mad. So we just put it together. But if you can, I mean, it wasn't difficult. But creating a scenario where you're doing those kinds of things can go viral too, and that's when you start seeing lots of impact. So I also will say this to you. When Cynthia and I put out a call to Dan and Marlene and Martin and saying, you're at $10,000. Now you got 8 weeks to go or whatever it was. It's a week later, you're almost at 20. That's pretty impressive. I got to tell you, 1 week you did 10 grand. But think about this. It's a numbers game, right? It's October 24th. So that's 3 weeks into October. You have 4 weeks in September. That's 7. You got a week and a half. So you got about 8, 9, maybe 8.5, 9 weeks to go. So you got about $80,000. You got to do $9,000 a week. So that's the urgency, but it's not urgent. But that's the urgency. And so having having every club member understand that and having fun with it and jumping in with the digital assets, and if clubs can do it, or if clubs can come together and multiple clubs can do it, if there's somebody in a neighboring club that's really good at this, you can pool your resources. It doesn't have to be just Bronson and Grant who are going to do stuff, but I'm going to jump in whenever I can help too, because it's just a lot of fun to do. So anyway,
Perfect. Well, we're committed to getting our runners out there. So we're going to
That's
start
right.
challenging people more. And Dan and I are going to put something together. We've made that commitment. So just as we wrap up, there's some really important dates coming up. If you could share with your clubs, Mike McGovern, who's the chair of the RI Polio Plus Committee, he's going to speak to us on Wednesday, August 25th at 7 p.m. And he's just Mr. Polio. He's so great. And I'm really interested to hear what he has as far as updates with Afghanistan, because as you know, we only have the 2 cases, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And now with that current situation, I know he'll have some news for us. So I think that'd be great. I think it keeps polio and the current situation, relevant for our members. So that's a great one. And then Dawn Eady, who's our Calgary West, we've been doing the second Saturday of every month. We've put an invitation on the Weekly Digest for people to join us. And to be quite frank, it's been dismal. The first one, there was only 4 of us, but we had a blast. We rode along Memorial, we took pictures, we had coffee. And then last Saturday, we met down at Fish Creek and there was 5 of us. Anyway, the people that go really, really enjoy it. But if we could get each club to, that slogan, each one bring one, if we could get the champions out and they all brought one, then we'd have a really great turnout. So Don's in charge of that and he's keen. And so we're looking forward to that. And then we're going to wrap up on Tuesday, October the 26th. It's a Zoom lunch meeting. The Downtown Club has John Manny coming, and he is a polio survivor and a huge polio ambassador. So that's going to be kind of our wind up. And then once we get all the money and things in, we'll figure out how to celebrate that with everybody. But yeah, I mean, summer's coming to an end. And as Robert said, when September hits, people tend to get back into the groove and, you know, get fired up again. So I think our timing is going to be great. So once again, thanks everybody for taking the time today. And please keep reaching out. Like when you hit those hurdles or hiccups, let us know. And if you have some successes with the video things, that would be great. We'd love to hear from you. So anyone else, any closing comments?
Marlene, just want to mention that I've done 20 club visits now, and a number of the club champions I've talked to, and it's building. You know, we're learning how to do this. We're learning how to process, you know, the different ways of, you know, contributing. We're all learning on this journey. I think that's one thing we got to point out. It's a journey, and we have 30 club champions right now. We want to have more, and I think it's a build. I've done a number of fundraisers myself, and this is a build. We want to build momentum. And I think you're starting to see that, Robert. I think we're starting to see some momentum here. And I think we shouldn't, you know, you talk about, you know, 9,000 a week. It doesn't work that way. Not, you know, in fundraising, you know, and don't get me wrong, I totally understand what you're saying, but we've got to get the word out. We've got to, and as you've done today, you know, Marlene, and the process of processing the checks and the cash, that was a huge one. That's been an obstacle. And I think you've really sorted that out. So, I think we got to keep going, and exactly on Dan's point, and I think on your point, and there is more work to do, and I do recognize that. On the social media side, I think we can obviously do a lot more on that. So I just want to say thank you to everybody, the way we're going here at almost $20,000, and I know we're going to be pushing. We have over 2 months to go. Vic, when did we start last time? When did you start last year?
Well, we counted everything from July 1st that went to polio, but we didn't really start till August the 1st.
Yeah. So I think we need to keep doing what we're doing, but I'm pleased with how the team is pulling together.
Great. So I'll make sure that I get this donation process out. Cynthia, can we make this recording available to champions? Okay.
Absolutely.
And then you are going to work with Terry on some steps so that club champions can check team and pledges. That might be useful for all club champions, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah, great.
So I just want to share, as we're closing, some fun you can have with video. It doesn't have anything to do with Polio Plus, but it's something our club has done, and it is simple, and it's taken a stale kind of looking thing and made it a little bit of fun. So Marlene, do you want to mute yourself from your speaker again?
That's painful.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? When we pay it forward, it will be returned. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? When we pay it forward, it will be returned. When we pay it forward, it will be returned.
Oh, great.
We can have a little bit of fun with something stodgy like the 4-way test. We can do that. We can do that with the Move for Polio as well. So
Absolutely.
we're
Love
committed to helping get some of those resources to you.
All right. Thanks so much for your time. Enjoy your evening. Don't forget to get out and move.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.